Welcome to our STARGATE to SOURCE special video. My name is Hara Katsiki and I'm here with my lovely friend and colleague Chrysilla Lewies. We are both quantum healers and we are meeting approximately once per month to bring you our thoughts and our experiences and just discussing and exploring different subjects. So in this episode, we thought about, since Christmas is approaching, that we would love to discuss the real meaning of this celebration and more specifically the teachings of Jesus, and even going into trying to find and explore together the real meanings behind the teachings that he wanted to share with us.
Yeah, and also we're in Christmas, so the meaning behind giving and receiving and the love that Christmas is all about.
Yeah, and I thought it's especially important this year, like we just said before we start this video. I really thought that this year it would be especially more important because it seems like many of us would not have the possibility and the opportunity to celebrate Christmas in the way we used to, which was to go out and just make shopping and then just go party and of course meet with family and attain all these social events. And this year looks like most of us will be forced to stay where we live, might not even be able to see our family. So perhaps this is an invitation for us to, if we want to look deeper at what this event is and what it means in our lives and on our planet, because I think that Jesus was his messages were very distorted. They destroyed a lot of his real teachings, or they misinterpreted, and a lot of these things are being lost.
Many of his teachings are definitely open for interpretation, which is also nice. So everyone can resonate with it in their own different way, in their own unique way, and still have a meaning, like a deep, meaningful meaning that we can take away from it.
Yeah, what I really loved about him is the way he was speaking to people. I really love that, and I always, even though I'm growing myself spiritually and I'm, in digesting and learning more and more and more, I always go back to him because I really love the way he was communicating to people, which was in a very, very grounded and very simple way. It was so simple that it could be missed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and almost like it's too good to be true. Like, how can things be so simple? How can things be so easy? And as well, this is where we've given our power away so much so that we feel like we don't have that power. We don't have that type of control that he's trying to teach us. And that's why maybe we have given him this name of God, because we can't envision ourselves obtaining what he's saying is so simple to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was everything, he embodied so much that is missing right now on the planet. Like, he was, if I look at him, I see no ego because he didn't have any. I see divine feminine within him, more so than divine masculine, really. And I, now looking at the times we're in now, I can also see the divine feminine coming in a lot of men right now, and you can see that shining through, and I love that. I love how men don't just want to be men anymore. They it's okay to feel emotions. It's okay to be open and let your feelings be known. So looking back at Jesus, I almost feel like he was the way shower. He was the experiment, you know, for the now. He was the example of what needs to be done for the mass awakening that needs to take place, because we have lost it.
Yeah.
We've fallen into an abyss.
Yeah. I totally love what you said. Especially, I want to talk about the part that you said that he was almost more feminine. Yeah, and this it looks like absolutely for sure, because he was connected to his heart. He was connected to this place of us that has this all these attributes of embracing and unifying and all these things that come from this heart. So yeah, he definitely was showing this in a very balanced way, the both the power, the strength, the strength and the sensitivity of an awakened, activated, open heart.
Well, we definitely have a lot to share today, and I have a pre-recorded little channeling that I did earlier before this video, and you also felt very passionate about sharing some quotes. So is that where you want to start today?
Yes, why not? Let's do that. So the idea came by from knowing that there were many books that were destroyed after his death. There were many books that were destroyed or heavily distorted, because of course the church at that time wanted to take the power for themselves, and many books were lost and throughout time. And one of them that is very significant was the Lost Gospel of Thomas. He was a very dedicated follower, and it's been said that he conveyed his messages pure and unfiltered. So there are lots of sayings there that are very, very powerful, and perhaps we could look at some of them and discuss and give our own interpretation.
Absolutely. Tell us a bit about the Book of Thomas. Where did you find it?
I don't have the original book. It's the information I have is from research I have done online. So in the beginning, God said in the beginning, in the beginning of the gospel, the first verse, so to say, says, excuse me, the opening, basically the opening. Sorry, my computer is a bit slow.
It's okay. Let's just wait till it loads, and then you can just cut this bit out.
There we are. The opening words are, "These are the secret sayings which the living Jesus spoke and which Thomas wrote down." And so the verse number 1 says, "And he said, whoever finds the interpretation of these sayings will not experience death." So this is already a very powerful statement, right?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So it means that you've taken the step to learn. So I'm coming from a place of, obviously I have a lot of knowledge and experience within, you know, myself being a spiritual divine being, and I know there is no such thing as death. But so people could come at it at a point of, I will be living forever in this physical human form, or you know that this physical human form will decay and pass back to earth once it's came. Is that the saying? But also that, you know, you are an internal being, as in you will forever be You'll forever be conscious. Your consciousness will forever exist.
Yeah. So I think most of his sayings were very metaphoric. All of his sayings were parables, were metaphors. Was very poetic, and in a way, the way he talked. So I think when he says, "You will not experience death," he didn't mean it in a literal way. Right? Like exactly what you said.
Yeah. But that's the thing. That's where we have distorted all of these sayings and all of these teachings, because we've taken it so literally. And if we have to update the Oxford Dictionary once a year with new words we've created, can you imagine the sayings 2,000 years ago, right? And the meaning behind those sayings 2,000 years ago, or 2020 years ago. So yeah, like we have to be mindful in the way we read these and not take it literally, and try and envision the meaning behind the meaning of the words, because sometimes it is beyond our understanding, and we just have to apply the understanding that we have in that moment.
Yeah. So the verse 2 says, Jesus said, "Let him who seeks continue seeking until he finds. When he finds, he will become troubled. When he becomes troubled, he will be astonished, and he will rule over the all." This is so I think so how you say, so important right now, especially with what's going on right now, because he's touching upon disclosure and truth, and what is really happening also right now globally, also externally and internally, right? This situation we are in now, and also what is coming, this ascension, the awakening. I love that he sends. I love that he says, sorry, when he finds the one who seeks, when he finds, he will be troubled. Yeah.
Because
I thought you want to say something.
Yeah. well, yeah, because we are going to be exposed to the truth of the unexpected, of we have been blinded to believe something completely different to what reality actually is. The big cover-ups, so this is we keep saying the truth, the mass awakening, and the awakening is the awakening to the truth, the awakening of everything. It's like this veil will be lifted, and at first it's like, wait, what? I cannot believe this. How can they have lied to us? This can't be true. And then, until you kind of get revealed, or more things are revealed to you, or you find out more truths in drops as it comes to you, it's just unbelievable that we have been kept in the dark for such a long time. And we believe, again, we can go back to mainstream media, and it's like, why would they lie to us? Well, agendas, and yeah, this is it.
Yeah. I think this phrase, this saying, it really mirrors what is happening globally right now, because as we know, our external world is an extension, or interpretation, or a reflection, even better, of our inner world. So I think this shift that we are in, and all this trouble that we are going through right now, is what is happening to all of most of the human beings internally, and being also manifested externally as a collective. And so indeed, when you find that, when you start to pierce through the veil, and you find out that everything you were told to believe is not real, you are going to have your belief systems shattered big time, and you're gonna be mentally very triggered. and emotionally. And
Yeah, it does. I can't tell you how many spiritual friends who are just awakening has come forward this year, and it has gone through phases of panic, of how can this be true, of are we going to be okay, are we going to survive, like how are we going to cope. There has been mass fear, but then at the same time it's like there's this calmness as well that comes with it.
yeah,
Like, okay, there's no point to panic's not going to get you anywhere.
yeah,
You know, let's just see where this is going and where this is taking us. But
yeah,
at the same time, you know, we have to take action. We can't just leave it. And I feel this is also where the message of our actions play a role. You know, do what you feel is right. If you're going to be doing something that feels wrong, it's not like you're going to go to heaven or hell, because Jesus, I feel, isn't going to be there to judge you. You are going to be your own judge. You are the judge and the jury. So, you know, it's your free will, how you want to live this life, and the actions you take is things you're going to have to live with your entire life.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah. And I interesting what you said, and I've experiencing too this what you said, that many people are being triggered right now in all levels as they are starting to wake up, and at the same time there is this overlay of bliss, of an energy that is so nurturing, so light, and this is, I think, the energies that we are being showered with from the universe, from the heavens, from the galactic core, whatever, um, that they're hard to miss because they are so powerful, so powerful. Okay, going back to our verses here. So we had we talked about that, and then it says, when he becomes troubled, he will be astonished, and he will rule over the all. So that's when you go through the process of facing the reality, having all your world being shattered, digesting, integrating, and, and really waking up to the
And then embracing.
Yeah, and of who you truly are and what this is all about, and realizing that it's all just an illusion, and then remembering who you truly are, meaning that you are the creator of all this. Then you will rule over the all, meaning what you have created. It's just so powerful, and it's all there, but I think you need to have a certain, like the people at that time, they were, I would dare to say, they were not even ready for something like this. You know what I mean? He was way ahead of his time. He paved the way, and that was what was he wanted to do. But we can understand it now, but back then, 2,000 years ago, with so much suffering, and the veil was so thick, the forgetfulness was so thick, the suffering was so deep, that I guess for people, like you said, it was too good to be true to get it.
And I feel you've touched upon an important word, the illusion. So when we talk about waking up, to those who are watching, it's the illusion that we are different. We are something different than what we really are. We have taken on all these belief systems, what we truly believe is true, which therefore gives us the illusion of something that's a different reality to its true existence. And I believe as well, our eyes are the windows to the soul. Our eyes, although physical, we can also use our third eye to see and tune into that intuition and the images, and that guide us. But I want to say that we deceive ourselves through these eyes. Like 1 minute something may be one thing, and then it's different. Like I did a video on that on my own YouTube channel not so long ago, when you have this illusion of, do you see a duck or a rabbit? So sometimes, due to our belief systems and how we've grown up to be, we see something and we don't see the bigger picture. We only see what we are familiar with, or what our mind has been taught to
What we
see.
can see, how we can interpret.
Yeah, exactly. So we can also be our own worst enemy, where things are hidden from us because we choose not to see. It's like when you're a baby and you incarnate into this world. I believe children see so much more than we do. And it's because we don't acknowledge the other things that they don't see. They think or believe that, okay, it's not important, so I kind of need to unsee it. Right? Just look at this object in front of me, in front of my hand, whatever it may be. And that is what's real, because the other things that I'm seeing apparently is my imagination, right? And that is the start of our belief systems, of the world becoming an illusion, and us deciding what's important and not, what to see, what's not. And that is how we again thicken this veil that is separating us from our true reality.
Beautiful, thank you.
I go off on a tangent, but I get there in the end.
Yeah. So we go to another one?
Yeah, I'm enjoying these.
Okay, let's do it. So Jesus said, if two make peace with each other and in this one house, they will say to the mountain, move away, and it will move away.
I'd like you to start with that one, but I would like you to read it again.
Sure. So Jesus said, if two make peace with each other in this one house, they will say to the mountain, move away, and it will move away. So I think here he talks about the power of unity consciousness, the power of not only peace in general, but peace with each other, and coming together in peace, and that this is so powerful when we connect in peace with our fellow human beings, then we can move mountains. So I think he's giving us another way of empowerment, of how much power we have, and how much power is in this unity consciousness, like I said. Yeah. What is your take on this?
I see it as like the law of attraction. You cannot want something that's not meant to be yours. You cannot say, I want to be a rich man and be in the state of consciousness of I'm poor. I want to be rich, but I'm poor, So until you acknowledge the richness, you will become rich. And to becoming one, you will then be able to do what you want to do, what you're meant to do, move that mountain, right? You cannot say, I want to conquer this mountain, but I don't have any men. I'm not strong enough, So until you realize you have everything you need, we'll make it work. One man, we'll have to see, we'll have to make a plan. Well, until two aligns, the yin and yang aligns, then great things will happen. That's my point of view on that.
Yeah, awesome. I'm happy to hear that you have another perspective of it, because it's nice to see things from different perspectives, and I think that's what the truth is. I think it's not just one truth. It depends how you see it, and definitely with his phrases, they are so how to say, they're so generic, but not in a bad way, that they can be interpreted and also applied in different ways.
Yeah, the yin and the yang can be seen in so many perspectives, you know, the male and female. You won't be able to achieve greatness with just being masculine. You need the balance of the femininity and the understanding and the love and the heart-based, you know, essence, that nurturing and the mothering, and as well as the strength of the masculine. And it doesn't matter, you can apply that perspective to so many things and still come to the same conclusion of you need to come together and be one thing.
Yeah. So one last one.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, this is great fun. I'm enjoying it.
I think this one is beautiful. I mean, they're all beautiful, but this one is quite important. So, all things that you ask straightly and directly from inside my name, you shall be given. So far, you have not done this. Ask without hidden motive and be surrounded by your answers. Be enveloped by what you desire, that your gladness be full. So I think what he means here is to ask from the heart and not the ego, and be enveloped by what you desire, because that is when your thought and emotion become one. So I think he's talking about the power of manifesting through the heart instead of the mind, because the mind is a polarized tool and it will create polarity, meaning what you want and what you don't want. But when you manifest from the heart, which is where he was always pointing, and it's something I would love to go into more detail after, if you want, that's when you can really manifest something.
So I think this is where one of those sayings got completely distorted in the teachings of Jesus, you know, in my name. I feel like, okay, so now I need to pray to Jesus in my name. Jesus, please, I need this to be more fulfilled. So, and you know what? I really have this resistance, even sitting here and talking about Jesus and his teachings, because I can feel this conflict arise within me, because religion was so forced down my throat when I was little or younger, that I feel that's why a lot of people also rebel against religion and this Jesus concept. But I feel like that saying means, you know, in my name, as in what I represented here on the earth plane.
Yeah. The Christ, the meaning of Christ, the Christ consciousness, the message.
Yes,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes,
Ask in my name, as in follow my example, follow my teachings,
very
and
good point.
Don't go wrong. Yeah,
very good point. Very important.
Yeah. So you keep talking about, you know, the heart, and the heart's very important, and you are a very, very loving, heart-based person. And tell us a bit about your teachings and your perspective on that, because you said you wanted to go into it, right?
Yeah, because he says, ask without hidden motive and be surrounded by your answer. Be enveloped by what you desire, and then it will be fulfilled. So this is the secret to manifestation. And even the what was this this famous movie and book, The Secret to. So they even had it wrong, and this was supposed to be like a very famous. It became very known spiritual teachings and everything, and you know, the law of attraction. You know this
by Rhonda Byrne, I think.
Yeah, I think so. We can look it up, but it doesn't matter. But it's super famous. Many people will know about it. And even they had it wrong. Why? Because they didn't talk about the most important thing. And many indigenous tribes were talking about that. And what Jesus is talking about, the secret is that when you pray, you do not you pray and you feel the emotion as if it has been already given. This is how we create from the heart. This is why the heart is so intelligent and so powerful, and that's why he was pointing there, because there is a reason why we have emotions. There is a reason why we feel emotions. Emotions are incredible tools for us to create, for us to manifest what we want. When we do that, what he's suggesting here, we truly bring into our life what is that we want by feeling the emotion of gratitude. So when the indigenous, for example, are praying for rain, they're not praying like, oh my God, please, please, it's so dry, we need rain, and please, we like in this victim mode, like, okay, please, I need rain, I need rain. Because when you say I need rain, that's what you manifest. So they say, thank you for the rain, thank you for the rain, and then boom, it happens. So yeah.
I think the book you're talking about is The Secret.
Yes, thank you.
Secret. Yeah, you said it.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I absolutely believe that. Like, you have to already be in a state of, I already have this thing. I already have obtained it, and that is where envisioning is so important, and already envisioning yourself having that. And I have listened to many A-listers talk about their success and how they have become I don't know, famous, if some simple word to use. And they all of them have one thing in common, and they say, since I was a young child, I looked at this football player, or I looked at this basketball player, or this actor, and I knew that is what I wanted to become. And through every action, through everything they did throughout their childhood, and of course you do need support around you, maybe their parents encouraging them and not discouraging them. But with every vision and everything you do, you already see yourself having that one day, right? And look at, they've achieved it, they've done that. And the proof is in the pudding, and that is it. That is the key.
Yeah.
You're never too old to do anything. Have that vision in your mind of already having it, and it will be yours. And it is as simple as that. But then again, one of the previous sayings, you cannot say, I want that, but I'm not worthy of it. So that is also important.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Beautiful. How about sharing your channeling from him?
Yeah, I can do that. And then also just to share, because that was one book you shared, and we all know that loads of books out of the Bible was removed. And this is a very, very interesting and really good book that I want to recommend to you. And it's called The Joseph Communications, called The Fall. And yeah, please go and look into that. And it loads of insight, and it's a really, really good book to read. And apparently also one of the ones that was taken out of the Bible. Okay. So
you also talked about, sorry, just a small parenthesis. You just also talked about we were talking about earlier about the book called Grandmother Anna, the Grandmother of Jesus. And it's also a great book, right? With amazing resources about him and his teachings and his life. I haven't read it yet.
Oh my God, it is such a good book. If you have no attachment to religion and you want to get your mind blown through a different perspective, Anna, Grandmother of Jesus is an amazing book, and everything goes, it's written by Claire Hartsong, and she goes deep into, obviously it's Grandmother of Jesus, so it's a lot of her story and her life, and how she went through all these what do you call them, tests, and they basically dedicated the whole life to this one thing, for Jesus to come in and be incarnated, and the thing is, everything happened on such a high vibrational frequency, what we will call probably the 5D. Yes, she had a sexless birth, right? Mary, but it all happened, the union happened outside of the body. You have to read it, and as well it goes through the crucifixion, and maybe we can go deeper into that in Easter.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you think about, as we are increasing our vibrational frequency, as we are becoming more enlightened, our body becomes lighter, we are actually ascending, and it's this ascension process that they have managed to achieve back then. So yeah, very, very good. Okay, so before Hara and I connected today, I sat and did a bit of a channeling. So you'll see I will be sitting with my eyes closed and just kind of getting information. I did take out some silences. Hara enjoys it, but of course I don't want to take up too much of your time. So I did take some of them out, but I hope you enjoy. So sit back and relax. When you speak, speak with purpose. When you see, have a vision. See the world you want to create. When I walked upon this earth, that is all I was able to see. I was the example. I paved the way forward for humanity to be able to wake up in this mass awakening of consciousness of who you truly are. I am God, but I'm not your God, because I am you, and within each and every one of you, within your heart, I am not here to tell you what you need to do, but instead feel what is right and wrong within every action of your being. Do not feel that I will judge you, because that is not my purpose, but yours. You judge. You are the only one that can judge yourself and your actions and your behaviors. Everything that happened in my time 2,000 years ago was for the enlightenment of the age of Aquarius that is upon us now. We see the alignments in the sky, just as you did with my birth. Jupiter, Saturn, the stars the three wise men once saw. Look upon those stars and realize and know that you are stardust. Be the miracle. Be the light worker. Be the healer. Because I am no more special than you are. Do not fear these gifts. That is a natural embodiment of who you are. And those who need help and healing and love will find you. And you will show them the way, so that they can also realize their own gifts, their own potential, their own greatness, as we all are. And as I speak these words, feel the love within your own heart. And the message for this Christmas is, share the love that you have for each other. Show your love with affection, with touch, through action and words, with meaning. Don't let words just be words, because those words you speak hold a vibrational frequency that can be felt by another. Hence why speak with purpose, with truth. The life that you have been given, the life that you are living now, is full of gifts, things that you can be grateful for. And through noticing and being in a state of gratification, you open your gifts every day. Every day is a gift. Every person you meet is a gift. Words of wisdom you receive and give is a gift. Someone who makes you laugh is a gift. Smiles are contagious. It warms the heart and being. There can be no illness or disease or disharmony. And these are the gifts that are important. Materialistic gifts are okay. They may hold meaning, they may not. But we'll leave that up to you to decide, as you have free will and choice. But that is my message to you, the very special being who's listening. May blessings follow you wherever you go. So there you go. The gift in Christmas, I feel, is in the way we share ourselves with the people around us. That's important. And I think it is harder this time of year because it's not, I don't feel the emphasis really is on the gifts and the physical things. Because if anything has taught us this year, it's the value of people. We have been shoved into our homes and we've been left to our own devices, screaming for connection. And I feel that's what's important, connection.
It really touched me, this part, very deeply. I mean, I found so much beauty and remembrance in these words. Thank you so much. It was absolutely beautiful.
You're welcome. And of course, if you would like to channel and do something similar, just take some time out and be in the peace and quiet and stillness and just listen and receive, be the receiver. And I feel that's what we are. We are little antennas and we are constantly receiving information. And some of the spiritual people will call them downloads. Oh, I just had a download. It sounds so sophisticated. But that's what it is. It's about just these moments of insight and revelations that we receive on our path.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say also, it's when we get these revelations and when we get these insights, sometimes they're only relevant to us and we can share, and those who can take the message or the message resonates with, great. But it doesn't necessarily mean that everyone will understand your message. Have you found that too?
Sure. Some messages are personal. They apply in your private life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we get excited to share sometimes, but it's like, well, it's so personal to you. Great that you want to share, but it doesn't necessarily mean the next person you want to share it with will resonate with the message.
Yeah. I also wanted to say on that Jesus is one of the beings that are many are being guided by. He's still available for communication. I know many people who call him, and he's connecting and he's giving support and messages, and so if you would like to do that, I think he will be more than happy to connect with you.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you something. I wonder if you had any sessions, any past life regressions, any QHHT or BQH sessions that you had anyone being around that time, had any, if you have retrieved information about him and his life from sessions.
Not directly to him though, but I had this most amazing session once with a guy being a priest during that time and during the unrest. And there was loads of fighting going on and he was scared for his life. Now he was a priest, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he started speaking Aramaic. And I was like, what is going on? Like, I don't understand a thing you're saying. And it was intense. It was very, very intense to, he had tears coming down his spine and he was praying in Aramaic, and it was an incredible experience. And that's the closest I had through a past life regression session to Jesus. But a lot of people do feel this connection to Jesus. You know, I've had a lot of people talk to Jesus in their sessions, but nothing from the life itself through that time period. But yeah, I do have the Aramaic session on my YouTube channel somewhere if you want to go and scroll through and find it.
We can put the link below maybe for people if they're interested.
Oh, good. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
And yourself?
I did have actually quite some now that I think about it. The first one I can remember is a guy who was a shepherd, a person who in the past life was a shepherd, and he was living in a village with his wife, having a simple, basic, ordinary life. And Jesus passed from that village to spread his teachings, and he had the chance to see him, to actually share the space with him. And it was short. His encounter with Jesus was short, but very transformative. Because from what I understood from the session, I get goosebumps. It's been a long time, but what I understood from, while going through the session from him was that Jesus it was not so much about what he would say, it was not about the information he was giving. We already talked about that his teachings were very simple. It was his presence, it was his energy, it was the energy field that it was the light that he was emanating through him. Some people say that, even just looking in his eyes, you would remember, you would bath into this divinity, into this beauty, into this light, into this perfection. So he was able to touch people, and that's, I think, the true mastery of a person, of a human, of a being. Because frequency doesn't lie, right? So the words can lie, the body language can lie, but the frequency cannot lie. And I think he was, I'm sure he was embodying this, what he was teaching. So he was touching people just by his presence. And then he said that after meeting him, his life shifted. He dedicated himself into, the truth and the love, and discovered his inner light. And it was beautiful. And he came also after, in the second part, when we connect with the higher self, Jesus also came through to give him some messages. And I had 2 more encounters. One was C, a woman in that life was a woman, and C was his sister. So there's a lot of information that came through about his private life, actually, but I'm not going to go into details. It's I guess a bit too much. We can put some links below for people to listen to these sessions. And I had another recently, 2 or 3 weeks ago, a woman who was in that past life. She was again a woman, and she was his girlfriend. Right? Before
he was he was a man. He dated. He wasn't this perfect, individual. He had a sex drive. He had fun. He smoked weed. Like he was a human being, just, with a bigger purpose.
So that was interesting, very interesting. And what more? What did I want? I wanted to say one. Yes, one more session, last one, that it was connected to Jesus. So the person met him in that life. They met physically. He heard him speaking. He loved the teachings. He followed him. He wanted to. That was in Rome. That was in Rome or somewhere around there, because Jesus was traveling a lot. He didn't stay in Jerusalem, right? He traveled all over the world to teach. So he passed from Rome and that's where this person was. And what happened was that there was after Jesus left, there were a group of people that wanted to pass on the teachings and to keep them alive and to share them with everyone. And so the Catholic Church burned them.
Mm. There's actually a lot of churches now that has been built on old you know, like what are they called, who celebrates the solstices, and druids, yeah. So I think it must be the druids. So a lot of churches have been built on, you know, it's taken over an older religion. So I think it must be the druids.
Yes, you're absolutely correct, and this is accurate.
Yeah.
And there were many spots where that were being taken over. Yes,
and even the dates, like the important dates, they were duped. They're duped into Christian important dates now. You know, like Easter or Christmas, but within the Druid following belief system, they hold different important dates. Right? So yeah, they're very coincidental, but it's only because they wanted to be the new religion. We are the number one. We are, you know, we hold the keys to heaven. And yeah, so even, oh God, I saw a post the Pope said, and the Pope said, for you to now enter heaven, you have to get the injection, the
you're
kidding. Yeah. I don't want to say the word because we are being censored.
You're kidding.
Yeah, it was in the news. Like, to enter the gates of heaven, you have to get the antibodies or whatever they want to put into you.
Oh my God. I don't know if we want to go into that.
No.
Because it's huge. This is just like,
So it just tells you how programmed the religion side of things is, and I feel like this video is a great way to get back to the teachings and the heart-based core, you know, what Jesus stood for, and I think we did a great job in doing that today.
Absolutely, I believe so. And what I would like to say before we close from my part is that to say that Jesus' main, if we could narrow it down, I think his main teaching was pointing to the heart. Was pointing like many depictions of him, just showing him with an illuminated heart, with the flame alive. And I think that's, if we would take one thing from him, would be that to this heart-based living, to allow ourselves to open our hearts, to get out of our ego analytical minds and dive into the beauty and the unity and the wisdom of the heart, and live from that place, and experience life from that place. And then life becomes magic, and then that's when we anchor the Christ consciousness into this planet, which is what is happening right now, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, as I said in my channeled message, I feel like what's important is our intention and our connection. It doesn't matter how much gifts you throw at someone. Gift doesn't necessarily portray love. Connection is what's important, not necessarily gifts, but it's up to you how you want to show that. But no, that connection is the most important thing. Without connection, we lose each other.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I do hope you have an enjoyable Christmas, or however you decide to celebrate this December. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be Christian, but we are obviously celebrating Jesus here within itself as a master, as a healer, and what he represented. And it's not anything to do with religion per se.
Absolutely not. Yeah. Good point. Yeah, absolutely. We are just bringing through some important global teachings, and actually most all the I think many masters saying that we were walking each other home, right? So if you look deep at all the different religions and philosophies, they are talking about the same thing.
Mm. Yeah, we are all walking each other home. We cannot do this by ourselves. We can't. Yeah, it doesn't matter how much you think you can. It's not a journey of, just you. It is your own personal journey, but we are here to help each other and take each other home. Yeah. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for having us on your screens and giving us your time.
Thank you for being with us. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.